What is up, guys? Welcome back to another video. In today's video, man, I want to go over all the XP rates and XP methods for leveling up here in Arma Reforger, and I have learned some new things that have not necessarily game-breakingly changed leveling up, but I think are going to be huge for the guys out there that are struggling to just get a little bit of XP towards the end of their ranks to hit that next rank. Because I know that's been a big problem for me. Like, I'll get through 75% of the rank, and then I'll be like, I need a little bit more, but there's no more objectives left, or, you know, the supply running's not giving me XP like it's supposed to. So I'm going to go into that method here in this video. And yeah, again, hope you guys are ready for this. This has been something that I've been wanting to do for a while, but it's taken me a while to get all the XP rates. Like, not number-wise, but just the methods of which you can get them. So, without further ado, let's hop into it. With the biggest being the XP rates for capturing bases. So, there's a couple different things about capturing bases that you should understand. So, first off, when you go to capture a base, there's going to be two styles of bases you can capture. AI and Soviet. Or it's in the game, they're going to be called FIA and Soviet bases. Now, those two bases give a different amount of XP depending on whether or not they're FIA or Soviet. So Soviets give more XP than the FIA do, but the Soviets do take longer to capture overall compared to the FIA bases. When you go to capture a base and you decide what base you're going to, and you open your map, you can scroll down to the base you're go over to the base you're capturing and click on it, and you can actually click on the little white bar you can see here in this picture right now. You see I'll move it around. You can see there's like that white bookmark looking thing. You're gonna want to click on that, and it's going to basically give you a bonus XP capture for capturing that base. For capturing bases on the front lines, at least is what I've noticed too. So by front lines, I mean if you're capturing bases that are far behind enemy lines. So for example, say you're capturing a base, and then there's a FI base, and then there's an FI base down the road, and another FI base down the road, and you skip the first two and you go down to the second one or the third one on that area, you won't get a veteran XP boost. But it does appear that if you capture an enemy base, an FIA base, or a Soviet base that is on the front lines, which means it is in walking distance or driving distance of the first allied base that you captured, or the most recent one you've captured, then you should get a veteran boost. At least it appears that way. I have had this randomly happen on bases that were far behind enemy lines, but it just kind of depends. I feel like it's kind of just 50-50 on it. For capturing bases, you're also going to want to make sure you're killing enemies, at least 3 to 4 enemies. You're going to want to hopefully shoot and kill, because this should give you also a combat XP boost or a veteran XP boost as well. Again, these rates are very iffy if they're going to give it to you or not, so don't be mad if it doesn't work for you the first couple times, because it doesn't always happen, but they can happen. They usually happen early matches, I didn't notice too, and they're less common when you join the match late and capture bases, so for some odd reason. So let's go into some other ways to level up. You've got doing supply running, so capturing supplies. We've went over this in the how to do supplies for dummies video. But basically, when you do supply running, you're going to want to do a little bit of a far distance for supply running. I know a lot of people want to do point blank supply running. So, for example, they'll go to the one supply base down near Saint Philip, which is going to have a base supply point right above an American objective, or an objective that can be Soviet or American, FIA, whatever. And you can just go up the hill, get the supplies, drive down the hill, jump the supplies, vice versa. But that's not going to give you as much XP as going far distances. This game does like you to do far distance traveling with supplies. It just encourages it. So you're going to be giving more XP for longer range supply runs. So going from a main base to a supply depot and back and forth might be your best strat. And those XP rates are not consistent. I didn't notice it. I don't know if it's because ever since this update they've had issues where I've been just not getting supplies even though I should. But there's definitely been issues where supplies haven't been giving XP. So just keep that in mind, that is a possibility that you may not get XP for those supplies you deliver. Some other ways to get XP is base defending. Base defending only works when you're on the front lines friendly base, which means say you're fighting over Tower Entree. If you are holding Moniat, you will get a base defend XP while being in Montiac for extended periods of time. If you are defending Military Hospital and you're in Gravet, and they're attacking Gravet, and you're in Military Hospital, you will get a base defense XP. It's not consistent, but it will happen. I think 50% of the time it does give you XP, so it's pretty consistent for the most part. It's a very small amount of XP. It's like maybe a little tiny chunk, maybe about 10% of the bar, so it's not a whole lot, but it will give it to you, and that recurs every like so many minutes. I think it's like 10 or 15 minutes, whatever. You can also get XP from getting kills. This is something that is not shown in game, but I have took notice to it. If you're going around the map killing a lot of enemy players or killing a lot of AI players, you will find yourself getting more and more XP, and you'll find your rank just randomly leveling up. This is because you're getting player kill XP, but it does not usually show your XP, so you have to just kind of keep an eye on your bar. And to keep an eye on your level bar, you can hold down the black button and the circle button on your PlayStation 5 controller, and it will bring up the level system. Now, these are the kind of the base level systems. There is a couple extra systems that I've learned. One of the biggest ones that I have been using for quite a while has been the building XP. So building up a base, specifically friendly bases, since you can't build up FIA or Soviets, you have to cap them first. You can also get in building XP from building roadblocks, as you just see in the gameplay. This Soviet team had built a roadblock. But you can actually build up your base. You can create like towers and all types of cool stuff. You will get XP for building as well. But now, mind you, building XP is very rare. And not in the rare sense like it doesn't ever happen, but more rare in the sense of when you're going to get it. You never really quite know when you're going to get building XP. You may get it at the beginning of building something, at the end, at the middle, or a random number in between those three numbers. So it really just kind of depends when it wants to give it to you. And you usually don't get building XP for every single item you build. So don't expect to get, build 40 sandbags and get 40 times XP because you're getting all the XP for all of them. You're not. You're only going to get XP maybe 3 times out of all those sandbags you build. So keep an eye on that because building XP is a way to level up. And probably the newest thing that I've learned for XP so far on Arma Reforger, probably the biggest thing that I've learned that is kind of shocking is, so when they updated the game with 1.13, Jesus, they added something called personal intel. Now, intel is something that you spawn with your body. It's automatic spawn on. And when you kill another player or an FIA, you can actually pick up their intel. Now, I thought originally the intel was just for fun, just for jokes. But it turns out it is not. It is actually for leveling up. You can actually take these intels, collect them off the kills you acquire. If you want to get a lot of them, FIA, but if you want to get some ones that are worth more XP, you can always capture Soviet personnel files. And you want to take them to your command tent. And on the right side of the tent, there'll be a box that has magazines. You're going to want to hit square in that box. You're going to bring up the inventory space. And then you're going to go to your inventory and click the square button on your PlayStation controller. All these controls are for PlayStation. If you have other consoles, it's just the equivalency of those to you. But you're basically going to go over and hit square in this box with the magazines in it. You're going to go to your inventory, and you're going to hit square on these personnel files. And what this will do will be giving the personnel files to the command tent. Now, you won't be able to get them back once you give them to the command tent. They'll be gone. But they will give you XP pretty much every single or every other personnel file, and it gives you about the same amount of XP as basically like the building. It's pretty much it's about the same, maybe a little less than the building XP. The building XP gives you a chunk really quickly, but if you do all these personnel files, it'll give you a chunk. So it's about the same. Just takes a little while to get to that chunk. But yeah, you can find these everywhere. I do believe the XP scales for rank of the character you kill. So if you kill a captain or a major or a lieutenant for like the Soviet team, you will get a lot more XP than you would if you kill a private or an AI. So just keep that in mind. This might encourage you guys to go fight those Russians. Maybe set up ambushes, kill a couple Russians, and dip out of there because you can sell basically sell their personal information, which is pretty cool. And that brings us to the end of the video. Those are all the ways and methods that I've known about for Arma Reforger for XP. If you guys know, if you play this game and you are aware of other ways you can earn XP that I did not mention, please let them down below. I'm pretty sure I covered all of the spots you get XP. I know as someone who's a pilot in the game, I really hate that the level system is the way it is because it makes it impossible to get aircraft before the end of the match, pretty much, it feels like sometimes. But I hope this method helps you guys, especially you guys that are ground troops that are trying to get, like, sniper rifles and sniper scopes and, all that type of stuff. And hopefully this will help you guys be able to get that stuff a little bit quicker. But with that being said, I love you guys. You're one of a kind. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Later.